Hi everybody and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra video and gameplay. Today I have a deck called Dead Men. This is a Kalista and a Gangplank deck. We're running Bilgewater and Shadow Isles. The two actually have some pretty cool synergy together, just how they work out. There's a lot of damaging spells from Shadow Isles and from Bilgewater, so that we and units really, so we can get some easy Gangplank level ups and be able to get him out and deal a lot of damage. Kalista's also great. There's a lot of units from Bilgewater that we can pair up with Kalista once she's leveled up to bring them back. An ephemeral unit, get some good like summon effects and end up like I guess getting some good units and abilities on the board. So that's pretty cool. Kalista, Gangplank, I really like running the two together. And kind of the basis of this deck was to run them in a deck with the Vaults of Helia. The Vaults of Helia, at the round start, you kill your most expensive ally to summon an ally from your deck that costs one or more. And so in this deck, we kind of have this gradual increase in mana of these units, just so that we can get value out of the Vaults of Helia. So we've got Gangplank, turn 5, Sheriff, Lariat, Rose, the Rekindler, Terror of the Tides, and then we're finishing off with the Dreadway. It's a play effect, so you don't draw the Gangplank when you summon it, but it's got an awesome ability where all of our spells and all of our damage is being doubled. And so that's with like hitting the Nexus, hitting enemies, overwhelm damage, any sort of damage that we're doing is dealing double, which is super cool. And yeah, like we can deal a ton of damage at the end of the game with even something like Warning Shot or Parlay. So pretty cool card. Now, I guess the problem with the Vaults of Helia, at least that I see, is that it's a very, very slow play. You play it on turn 5. If you don't have a well-developed board, then you kind of just sacrifice all of your units. You can't block. It's really kind of an awkward card depending on how your board state is. And so I'm pairing this with Bilgewater because there's cards in Bilgewater that can summon multiple cards and can kind of fill my board at the same time as giving me value with the Vaults of Helia. So I'm talking of things like the Dreadway Deckhand, which summons a Powder Keg. We've got the Petty Officer, which summons Powder Kegs or 1-cost followers. Same thing with the Island Navigator. And so it doesn't feel super bad when they get sacrificed because we already have a unit on the board that we can use to block the next round, kind of mitigate damage from the enemy when we need to defend. Yeah, and that also just gives us more units that we can use to block and potentially level up Kalista. The same thing is really said about the Warden's Prey. When the Warden's Prey dies, we get another Last Breath follower that costs 3 or less, so another card in hand that we can play and allows us to kind of refill our hand and then also replenish our board just so that we can get units down. Vaults of Helia sacrificing is kind of hard to get over that. It's slow. We kind of sacrifice the ability to block with the Vaults of Helia, and I don't really like that about it. It's super awkward. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on the side of them needing to change this card a little bit to make it more viable, because the concept I think is really cool. There's a really cool concept. It's just you're just sacrificing way too much tempo and board presence with the Vaults of Helia, and it sometimes can come back to kick you in the butt. It's a very polarized card. You can get a lot of value out of it, or you can like just completely lose the game by playing this card. So you definitely need to kind of think about when you play this card because it could cost you the game, but like when it works out, it's super powerful and really hard for the enemy to deal with. Yeah. Anyway, so once we play Vaults of Helia, we get Gangplank down. Gangplank goes into Sheriff, Lariat, Rose, which is cool. It kind of grants all the enemies vulnerable, which allows us to determine which units attack into which. It's also a pretty powerful unit for Kalista to summon once the Sheriff, Lariat, Rose dies, and then we can grant vulnerable to every enemy that's down pretty much all the time. We're also, after that, running the Rekindler, so Gangplank has died, the Rekindler will summon a Gangplank, and then from there we go to Terror of the Tides and then Dreadway, and just kind of ramps up our damage, gets us into a really cool position to be able to win the game. And once again, just as kind of a side note, not a side note, but kind of more about the Vaults of Helia, I guess. You don't really want to attack with units that can die, because that really messes with your tempo. So for example, you summon Sheriff Lariat Rose, right? On your attacking turn, you don't necessarily want to attack with her if the enemy has a way to kill her, because then you don't get the Rekindler the next round. So once again, kind of slows you down and slows what you can do in the deck. And really, we just need to get to the Dreadway, because that's basically our win condition late game. And yeah, anyway, really difficult deck, My takeaway from this is that we probably need a little bit of a rework on Vaults of Helia. I've tried it in other decks with Demacia and stuff. Once again, it's very polarized. Either you kind of lose the game or win the game, depending on your enemy's like hand state, board state. Yeah, just not the best card right now in my opinion, but still kind of fun to work and play around. So that's why we did this deck today with Bilgewater. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks. Alright, so we're playing against a dragon deck, Aurelian Soul, well, maybe more of a celestial deck. We'll kind of see what happens here. I kind of like keeping one of these unspeakable horrors, and I'm going to keep the Dreadweight deckhand. I also pick up Ward and Spray a little early for the Rekindler, unfortunately. That's okay though, we're running 2 Rekindler in the deck. Couple of other things as well. I'm going to play my unit here. I want to get damage off. We'll see if he's got a Solari Soldier. And he does. I think that's fine. We do force him to play it kind of defensively, so it's fine. I actually do think we want to block here. We end up getting a card from this, so it's not awful. The Undying, it's okay. Let's go ahead and play our Dreadweight deckhand. And we'll end the round as well. We've got the Vaults of Helia, which is really good. I think... Do I want to play the Undying? I mean, we could. I think the Undying is actually okay here, because a lot of times people don't like blocking the Undying. And that can help me get some damage off here. So he's invoking. I don't know why he's invoking. He must just not have a play. And I think I just want to attack with the Undying.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
And retain my other unit as a blocker. So yeah, he lets us get the damage down. That may be a mistake for him, but I'll take it because yeah, we helped level up Gangplank because of that. We've got an Island Navigator, which is great. Our curve this game has been pretty good. And I think we don't get the Nightfall off though if I do this. The reason I'm including this is because I can target the Nexus. So is there a point of doing this? I don't think there is. So I think we just block here. We'll go ahead and play Island Navigator now. End up getting Lonely Poro and Poro Fly, which isn't the best, but we'll have to deal with that. And we can get multiple attacks this next round as well, if we want to. Because we are playing the Vaults of Helia, and this is killing our strongest unit. Let's go ahead and see what he does here.
Hold still.
So he does block both. We don't really want to kill off our Island Navigator.
The mountain speaks to those who listen.
Let's go ahead and attack with our Undying. So once again, he lets us get value off. That's great. We're going to play the Vaults of Helia. Unless he's running Divergent Paths, which I guess he might be. I don't really see that happening in this deck. But anyway, we're going to sacrifice this. We should pull out a Gangplank, which we do. We get another Powder Keg, and we've got Unspeakable Horror as well, and both of these parlays as well, which is great. Alright, so we're looking for him having Obliterates here, which is probably going to happen. And so that makes me want... I think we just play the Dreadweight deckhand here. We get another barrel, and we can use Unspeakable Horror, and then, like, if all things kind of, you know, go south, we can just play the Warning Shot. It's doing 3. Not quite enough to kill him though. He's just going to target the Gangplank, which is fine. I think we pass here. I want to see what he does. I really expect him to take the Gangplank, so this is fine. We're going to Unspeakable Horror, the more healthy of these two Mountain Scryers here. What's he got? Health? Like I said, if everything kind of went to pot, we could just go like that. So we end up getting, it's okay. We deny the single combat, we deal some damage, we help to level a Gangplank. We end up getting Cygnus, that's actually not too bad. We've got Gangplanks in hand as well, and we're going to end up killing off this Undying. The rounds start, which is kind of bad, I guess. So we'll have to wait till next round to get the Undying back, but Island Navigator's fine. That's not good though. In fact, that's kind of sucky, especially since we just drew the Gangplank there. Alright, so we do have the Rekindler. I think we just go for the Rekindler. We want to use, we want to free up some space here for sure. So we're going to attack with our scout units. And he just lets it go through. That's insane. Yeah. If he lets this go through, then we can just deal 1 damage to his Nexus. That's insane. This is fine. We definitely want him to play something here. If not, then we'll just take out this Daylight Spear. That's fine. They got him to use that defensively. This also puts the Gangplanks back into my deck. So I'm actually not super mad about using those, especially if they can take out my Gangplank. End up getting our Undying back. Cleared out our board a little bit, so that's pretty good. And I think we're just 1 away from leveling up the Gangplank, so again, not too bad here. 3 cost units, I think this is okay actually. Let's go ahead and put down the Petty Officer, and nope, don't want a Power Kick, I want the Follower. So he had to use a lot of, mana to use that spell, and I can just, you know, replenish my board as I want. This gym is going to be a Nightfall Enabler as well, and there's our parlay. So I think what we want to do here is this and this. We've got Cygnus down as well, so that will pull out another Rekindler. Sunburst, that's fine. Does he have a way to heal? See if he's got a Hush. Yes, he does. Okay, that's fine. Once again, this guy's going to die, but that's fine, and I think we actually parlay this round. Because we should get the Rekindler, and Gangplank's going to come out. Oh no, the Undying. Oh wait, okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Oh, the Undying was obliterated. I'm good anyway. Alright, so we end up leveling up the Gangplank, which is great. Get the powder keg. Another parlay. Aurelian Soul, that's fine. It's not going to be able to level up this Aurelian Soul this round, so I think what we just do here is attack the Mountain Scryer, deal 2 damage, and we're going to block with the Poro Fly. If I'd have put out the Dreadway, I could have just won there. This is fine. We'll just play. I guess we've got the Gangplank's parlay anyway, so alright. Get it with the Dreadway. Yeah. Could have won a little bit earlier there. We kind of swarmed him with our units, which was pretty cool. Not too upset about that gameplay. This is my first time playing the deck against another player though, so definitely made some mistakes, but I definitely see the potential in the deck. Seems pretty cool and fun, so I'm going to be trying this out just a little bit more and see if I can do a little bit more with the deck.